This video will guide you through the 8 steps needed to create a contract. Drafting contracts is a widely requested project on the Contracts Council platform since they are essential for protecting businesses and individuals from legal risks. If you need to create a contract, this video is for you. Before we start, just a brief disclaimer. The following information is provided for educational purposes and in no way constitutes legal advice. For legal advice, we encourage you to consult a licensed attorney. We will cover who needs a contract, key terms to include in your document, and 8 steps to follow to write your contract. We've also added a link below with information on lawyer pricing if you want to know the cost of hiring a lawyer. Now let's get started. Who needs a contract? Contracts are typically needed by businesses and individuals who want to formalize an agreement. Here are some examples. 1. Business partnerships. Partners need contracts to outline their roles, responsibilities, and profit-sharing arrangements. 2. Employment. Employers and employees use contracts to define job roles, salaries, benefits, and termination conditions. 3. Freelance work. Freelancers and clients use contracts to specify the scope of work, deadlines, and payment terms. 4. Sales of goods. Sellers and buyers use contracts to agree on the sale price, delivery, and warranty terms. And 5. Services. Service providers and clients use contracts to define the services to be provided, timelines, and compensation. Note that many other situations may require contracts outside of these examples. What to include in a contract? There are common terms used in contracts. Here are some you will find. 1. Parties involved. This clause identifies the parties entering into the agreement and should use their full details and legal names. 2. Define terms. You will often see a section that defines terms used throughout the contract. The purpose is to make sure parties clearly understand what the terms mean. 3. Scope of work. For service-related contracts, this clause defines the services or goods to be provided. Make sure it is detailed. 4. Payment terms. If any form of payment is part of the agreement, this clause specifies the payment amount, method, and schedule. 5. Term and termination. This section sets the duration of the contract and the conditions for termination, which is how a party of the agreement can get out of the contract. 6. Confidentiality. Contracts typically have confidentiality clauses, which ensures that sensitive information is kept private. 7. Dispute resolution. Agreements can sometimes lead to disputes between the parties. A dispute resolution clause details the procedure for resolving any disputes that may arise from the contract. And 8. Governing law. This clause specifies which state's laws will govern the contract. 8 steps to writing a contract. Here are 8 steps you can follow to draft your contract. 1. Review the commonly used clauses discussed earlier in this video or find a template online to use as a reference. This will allow you to know what to include. 2. Identify the key information you need to include, such as the parties involved, payment terms, and any specific conditions. 3. It is critical to use clear and concise language that all parties can understand. Avoid using complex legal jargon or technical terms. 4. Organize the content logically. For example, list the parties involved at the beginning, followed by the scope of work and payment terms. 5. Be sure to incorporate any applicable laws and regulations that may be specific to your state or industry. Note this may require research. 6. If you are unsure about anything, consider using Contracts Council's platform to seek advice from an experienced lawyer. 7. Review and revise the contract to make the language clearer and confirm you have included everything needed. And 8. Create a standalone document that can be signed by all parties involved. Writing a contract is a vital step in protecting your interests and setting clear terms for any agreement. If you need help from an experienced lawyer, feel free to search Contracts Council or visit contractscouncil.com and post a job to get quotes from lawyers to help you. Thanks for watching.